football without fans is nothing. It can be the greatest game in the world. If there are no people there to watch it, it becomes nothing.
Johnston. And a goal by Johnston. That makes it 2 by him.
We were magnificent. Magnificent.
Larson. Oh, he's in. Henrik Larsson. That is sensational. Nakamura.
The game is over. The Rebels have won.
He's done it! Jarman's put it in, and without a doubt, the European Cup is on its way.
We'll never stop. We'll stop at half time, and we'll stop at the end of the game when we celebrate.
Yes! Welcome to another episode of the Jungle Gyms pod. Paddy, we have just beaten Livy 3-1 away. We've ended that 15-year hoodoo. How good does that feel, mate?
Mate, it's absolutely brilliant. I was just actually thinking, Gav, this will be the first time that you and I have done a Livingston podcast this season. The last 2 times it's been myself and McGinty, and each time, the first time we get beat, and the second time we flung away points. So, first time this season on the podcast, we beat Livingston, and as you say, mate, first time in 15 years, 2007 since Paul Hartley's debut, we actually beat A Bastards in the rain patch at the Tony Macaroni fucking Pasta Dome Spaghetti Head Stadium. So, brilliant feeling. 3 points in the bag. Brilliant.
Aye, mate, I've got to say, going into the build-up, the tension in the media obviously were hamming it up, as that's their job, about the 15-year hoodoo, but the tension going into that game was almost kind of reminiscent of like a Steven Spielberg movie. But in the game, so I know we'll kind of dissect the game, but I was asking you in the WhatsApp chat, how did you actually feel during the game? Were you nervous? Or were you quite comfortable? How did you feel overall, first half, second half, comfort levels? I've got to say, me playing against Livy away at Almondvale, my comfort level only starts when we are 3-0 up. And we actually got to that mark on like the 46th minute, but a minute later, they got a goal back. So I'm going to revise that. My comfort level only starts at 4-0 up against Livy at the Almondvale. But tell me, how was your comfort levels? How did you feel during the game?
Mate, I've had a kind of mixture of emotions the last couple of days. Obviously, yesterday, with them winning, it took them kind of on parways, although we're still in front head at the top. But over to us again today. So this morning I woke up and I was like, oh, fuck, right, here we go. Good feeling this morning. And then an hour later, I was like, I don't know. So kept back and forward. I was like, right, I'll just kind of, I won't concentrate on it too much until I see the team line up. So the team line up and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, here we go. Wasn't a wee too confident. And I was like, right, do you know what? I've looked at the players. I've looked at what I'm imagining is going through Angie Seed, and I'm thinking attack. You know, guys like Forrest coming in, Beaton maybe to come in and sit in the midfield to cut a long range shots if needs be. And then the game, mate, I was actually fairly confident during the game. I didn't have any of these kind of bad feelings coming out. And as it stands, you know, Ange picked the team absolutely spot on. Couldn't have done it any better.
Aye. Who have we got in the building? Any comments since so far?
Yes, mate. Well, there's.
I think Paddy just shot himself off there. Fucking Clark works, Paddy, isn't it? Right, okay. Well, I'll wait for Paddy to jump in.
Sorry, mate. I pressed the wrong button there. I don't know what happened. Aye. Anyway, here we are. Kyle Cutler was the last guy in there. Team was spot on. Yep, absolutely. Fantastic named person here, Paul Patrick. Thank feck we didn't end up regretting the penalty miss this time out. Yep, absolutely. Sean Ross, hail. I've seen a win at the Spaghetti Park. Absolutely. So we, mate. Kyle Cutwood, big 3 points. Hunt Telly's flung out the windies.
Aye. I certainly hope so. Right, Paddy, obviously the goal. So the first goal was Maida, second goal was an own goal, and again kind of forced by our pressing, and the third goal was James Forrest. We'll get into that. We'll talk about star performers, but overall, how big is that win for me? I'm not trying to get too ahead of myself, but if we were to win the league, we'll look back on days like today. Now, I know that this wasn't like a last-minute winner such as the Ross County away from home, but for me, this was a monumental game because we overcame adversity in a different way, such as going back to the away Aberdeen game at Pittodrie when we hadn't won a game since we hadn't won an away game since Valentine's Day. These are the games which win you the league. when the odds are stacked against you, and we overcame it. And as you said, you actually felt quite comfortable. Now, I felt that one of the biggest factors in the game was the physicality. We had to turn up physically because can't take anything away from Livingston. They're good at what they do. They're a whole bunch of guys. They're very athletic. They work for each other. Their tactics are spot on in regards to their limited ability. So with the lineup, I felt that the lineup told a story in terms of the physicality that Ange was anticipating. What did you feel about the lineup?
As I said earlier, Gav, I was a wee bit downtrodden when I seen it at first, but then I started taking a really look at it, kind of dissect it. In my head, obviously, I thought, bringing guys like Beaton in was kind of showing up the midfield. Hatate's not really been on the boil the last few games, and he's clearly a kind of box-to-box midfielder, and he'll make the movements. So for me, bringing Beaton in, it was to kind of shore up the midfield as well, using his passing ability, let McGregor go forward, and hopefully Rogic to come onto a game. I was glad to see Ralston coming in at right back because I knew he'd give that wee bit of physicality that we need, the wee bit of drive. As I say, he's been kind of up at the top, up near the top in the ranks in terms of assists this season. So it was good to see him in, especially for his low crossing, because that's what we seem to do against Livingston. We seem to go out onto the wings for some reason. So the only one I was a wee bit shocked with was Juranovic not playing at left back. Obviously, that was Greg Taylor that came in. And obviously the big surprise of the day, I think, was James Forrest starting over Abada. Giacomakis, who we all knew was going to be back in the squad, but we knew if he wasn't going to be fit, then it was probably going to be Maeda that filled the spot. But I thought it would have been a mixture of either Maeda central or Abada central, and one of the two kind of on the right hand side. But we James Forrest came in, and again, it's proven to be a kind of a masterstroke by Ange.
Let's talk about James Forrest. So on this podcast, you know that one thing you'll get from us is honesty. If you play shite, we'll tell you that. If you play well, we'll tell you that as well. Yes. Forrest has really had his detractors from all quarters of the Celtic support, but I thought he acquitted himself very well today, and he got his goal too. He could have got a second later on in the second half. Might have he could have pulled the trigger, but he tried to take it past another man after doing a wee nutmeg. So he was playing on the right, not on the left. I thought Forrest did well today. A lot of people have written them off this season, and based on the evidence so far, I get where they're coming from. But let's be honest, Paddy, what did you think of Forrest today?
Well, he got his goal, mate. That's the only things that matters today. Clearly, there was some aspects of his game that wasn't very good, mostly towards the end of the game. But that could have been a case of him tiring out a wee bit, because he's not played regular football this season. He is 31. He has taken these bad toe injuries. So listen, regardless of overall, I think he was decent, but he got that vital.
I thought he was reliable, more than reliable.
I thought at times,
but he was very reliable today. He put in one of his better shifts of this season.
Well, I tell you what, he didn't shirk anything today, Gav. I'll give him that. Overall, he didn't shirk out any tackles. He never had to be bailed out for anything. He was a kind of guy that always gave us an out. A couple of times he done his usual kind of clambered on his own feet a wee bit too much. He was a wee bit indecisive, but his goal was brilliant. His goal was absolutely fantastic. And again, to put us 3-1 up after missing penalties and missing another couple of shots, it was vital. It definitely was vital. You can't be 1-0 up or 2-0 up against Livingston as it showed at Almondvale. We've got to go and get a few goals against them to be comfortable. We got even when we got the 3 goals, we still weren't that comfortable. But brilliant 3 points to take away the day. As you say, Gav, like at this stage of the league, at this time of season, to get wins against a team who is your hoodoo team, it's vital, mate. You can't win championships by having a bogey team beating you all the time. As I say, for us to be going out and winning at Almondvale for the first time since 2007, it's maybe not as big to some people, but over the course, mate, it's magnificent. It's a great victory today.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's get into it in a little bit more detail. So, in the first half, I think the lineup that Ange Postecoglou had actually came up with, I think it was justified, especially in the first half when we saw how physical the game was going to be. We've got a wee comment from Brian. How you doing, mate? Afternoon, gents. Forrest will come good, and did come good today. Not me though. Smug. Oh yes. I don't know if he's talking about coming himself. I don't want to think about that. Joe
No,
Curran.
I think he's it's Big Brian. He's quite an advocate of James Forrest, so he's clearly pleased that he put in a good performance today.
Cool. I think I misinterpreted the coming part of that. Joe Curran. Welcome back. Not great, but we won. Well done. Glad you're on, so I can hear a good pod. By the way, the last time that me and Paddy did a pod, it was after the Celtic and Hibs game, and we were downtrodden. We were flat as fuck. So I'm glad the sun is shining. We won away to Livingston. Things are looking good. And Paddy, only 8 games to go. But let's get into the first half, mate. We got a penalty in the 15th minute. Was it a penalty? Should it have not been a penalty? But Callum McGregor stepped up because we never had Josip Juranovic starting, and off the post, mate, off the post. And then like a minute later, he had a great header as well from a couple of yards out, and he put it miles over the bar. What were you thinking at that point, and were you blaming him for the missed penalty?
Now, bearing in mind when the penalty came, Gav, Joe Hart had already pulled a kind of a goal-saving save off already. The Livingston defender managed to get round Vickers' right-hand side. I think it was a corner. Might have been a corner or a cross, but he got into Vickers' right-hand side and he kind of hooked his left foot round. The ball came down low, whipped into Joe Hart's left-hand side, so he's managed to get down and go to the road, which was vital at the start of the season. But then the penalty came in at first, mate. I thought it was actually thought it was quite a soft penalty, but when I looked at the replay, it was a penalty. I thought at the start it was more ball to hand than hand to ball, but got a penalty. I seen Callum McGregor walking up with the mask, and I thought, right, okay. Me personally, mate, I'm kind of, I don't know if it's an old schooler thing, or I don't know if it's a kind of, what do you call it?
You like your strikers to take the penalties?
What's that word? Anyway, I don't like left-footed players taking penalties.
Really?
Aye. I don't know.
Does that go for Messi as well,
What's that, mate?
Does that go for Messi as well?
Well, I think that's a bit different, but I generally I'm not quite a fan. I can't actually remember that word. What's that word? Like, you don't like to see black cats walking in front of you, that kind of thing. What's that word?
You're superstitious.
Superstitious, aye. Thanks, Gav. I couldn't get that word out there. That's me, mate. I'm quite superstitious about left-footed players taking penalties. Don't know why. I don't know if it's an old school thing, old wives' tale thing. I don't know. But that wasn't a very good penalty again. And right away, you're thinking, oh my God, the last time we had a penalty against Livingston, we blew it at the last minute. Is this going to be another one of the days? But
I've just got that Stevie Wonder tune in my head now because you just said that, man.
Very superstitious. Writings on the wall.
Right. However, 2 minutes after that penalty miss, it was the 17th minute, and the goal came in a great start. So it was a Jota corner. Starfelt, he won the first header at the near post. He forced a save from the keeper, and Maida doing what good instinctive strikers do, follow it in at the far post. He made the run. Sometimes you gamble and it never comes your way, and sometimes it does come your way. And he got the head up and it goes in. Brilliant. Mm-hmm. And that's what he needed. Because he was having detractors as well. He had a few critics as well. So how happy were you for Maida getting that early goal?
Well, who would have thought that the smallest man on the pitch would have scored from a set piece against Livingston? Not I, says I. So great opening. I don't think he could have got a simpler finish, but who gives a monkeys? It was a goal. It was a deserved goal, and it kind of put us back in driving spot again after McGregor's penalty miss. But again, like that, it's great to get a goal to start off because it's a place where we do struggle. Right away, you could tell Livingston were coming out very, very defensive. So to go in and break the duck in the opening, very, very good. Delighted with it.
Overall, the first half was still quite engaging. It was still quite tense and exciting from a Celtic fan's perspective. There wasn't that many flashpoints apart from that. However, there was on the 45th minute, right before half-time, Livy almost got the equaliser. Forrest gave away a daft free kick within our box. It was quite a good free kick that was floated into our box, and it was Obalai who headed it off the bar. It was, I think, the closest person to him might have been Beaton, and that makes sense. One of our tallest kind of players up against one of their tallest players. So they matched up well, but Oberlai, he had too much space, and he should have scored. It went off the bar, but that was a close shave. And I think in general in that first half, what I would take away from it was just the physicality. We really, really had to work for it to go in 1-0 at half time. There was at times a bit of comfort, but we couldn't slack off. What was your overall thoughts going in at half time, and especially after that close shave, mate?
Twice, mate. I actually thought Livingston scored it. Now, when you look at it, they've obviously put in a good ball to the fucking tallest guy in the pitch, big black guy. I think he's about 6'7" or something. So he was head and shoulders above Beaton, who's about 6'4" himself. So again, that was one of the scary moments, but managed to get into half time, recoup. Hopefully, Ange was going to put in a good word. So at that point, mate, you were still happy, but I don't think anybody was kind of close to saying that was a game over, or it was going on to easy street or anything. Even the guys in the comments, there's McGinty saying that the Callum McGregor one, 100% a penalty, very harsh yellow though. Where are we? Joe Curran. I try not to disagree with Ange, as it is his job. He'll Cal Mac leave the pens to others, but I thought it was soft. There was actually a softer call after that. I can't mind who it was. I think it was Rogic. Rogic kind of burst into the box, and he literally kicked the guy off the guy's hand. The guy was kind of falling onto the deck, and Rogic gets kicked it off, and Rogic was shouting for a penalty, but that was definitely not a penalty. There's Brian. Guys, say hello to my daughter Emily. She's a good rebel and would love a shout out. Nay bother me, Emily. Hope you're having a great day with Daddy. And hope you're loving the Celtic. And there you are, mate. You've just burst into it. I'm already on it. Already done.
Brilliant, mate. I hope
so there you are. There's to be Emily, the newest subscriber. Already on Jim's. When you got him.
Paddy, going into the second half, right away, we go 2-0 up. It was the own goal. I think it was a cross from the right. And I think Oberlai tries to kick it. And then it goes to the other guy, Devlin. And I don't know if it hits off his face or his chest or if he kicks it as well. But and my dad was right behind him. He was pressurising as well. And we're 2-0 up within the first minute of the second half, mate. I was thinking, these scripts aren't written for Almonville. It's always tougher than that. Mate, I was almost on cloud 9 by that point. Obviously, my comfort level needs to be 3-0 up, but things were looking rosy in the garden at that point, mate. What were you thinking?
Mate, I fucking nearly hit my head off the ceiling when I jumped that high. But again, see the first two goals that we scored, it wasn't the goals that you would have expected us to have scored at Almonville with that defence of theirs and kind of our small front line. Jota's been off the boil a wee bit. Forrest has been really off the boil this season. Maeda's kind of had his detractors over the last couple of games, but I think Maeda's he's still been plugging away. He's still been off on what he's good at is his pressing game and kind of putting pressure on the defenders. And that's what he did all day. And that's all he had to do today. So when he's put the pressure on the defenders and he's made the couple of movements, he's managed to find a free header at the back for the first goal. And for the second goal, again, the ball's come in, and as the ball's coming in, Maeda's right into the defender on a flash. Maeda's actually trying to get contact with the ball. He's that close to Devlin that Devlin's got to make the contact, and he's forced the defender into making contact with the ball, which fortunately for us, it was going for an own goal. But I think if Devlin hadn't got it, Maeda would have got it and scored a goal anyway. Do you know what I mean? So as much as it was an own goal, mate, I still want to give Maeda a lot of credit for it. Again, it was a good cross. We done well most of the time with the crosses. They were kind of in dangerous areas and they were at a good height for our players. But Maeda especially was a really, really good game today. Wasn't he flash? Wasn't he hadn't he scored a barrel load of goals at the end of the day? He's only walked out with one goal, but he's still been responsible for 2 goals. 3 goals even if you count the assist for Forrest. I think it was Maeda that kind of...
No, it was actually Jota. So
was
that was
right.
10 minutes later.
It was part of that wee trio that kind of broke off away again and kind of split. You know what I mean? They ran forward as a unit and then they split into the 3. So that was great.
Aye, so we won the ball back in midfield, and the ball got played to Jota. And Jota, I thought Jota a couple of times in the game was a bit guilty of, once he did something good, he took too long to make that pass, or to take that shot, or just make that decision. But on this occasion, he played a through ball to Forrest very quickly. Forrest runs through and goal. He takes it onto the angle. Keeper's coming out, but Forrest fires past into the far corner from an angle, and mate, 3-0 up, man. I was thinking, oh my God, how good is this? And I was really, really happy for Forrest. I thought Forrest, as I said, I thought Forrest looked on it today, and he was rewarded with his goal. That's what you want. With 8 games left, we don't want Forrest to be a passenger. He was not a passenger today, and I think that hopefully will galvanise him for the run-in for the season. We'll see what we get from Forrest, but he got his goal. He tried hard today. I was really, really over the moon for the boy.
Aye, to be fair, mate, I've said this before in recent weeks, that I think that potentially this is going to be James Forrest's last season. But you know, where people have been saying, nah, just get rid of him now, get him to fuck. I've said he's kind of one of the players who still could have something to offer. He done it for us in the semi-final. He came on, got us the goal that took us to the final. And you know, today we'll have to rule him out, and he's come out and he scored a goal, and it was a brilliant goal. Again, it was one of the moments, Gav, where we actually did something that we've not done a lot against teams like Livingston. We actually used the counter-attack. And we done it to perfection. We tried it a couple of times before, and I think the first time that we did it in the game, I think it went to Rogic out wide, out on the right-hand side, and he tried to be too cute. He tried to be too slow and kind of drag it by the goalie, but he done it far too slow, and the goalkeeper got onto it. But whereas this time, again, we broke off as a unit, and then we kind of deployed down the flanks and inside, you know what I mean? So, brilliant goal. And Jota, obviously, as you've told me now, made the right decision to pass it out left to Forrest. And Forrest, I think Forrest could have looked as if he could have cut it inside to Maeda. But, he done well. He done well to take the shot with his left hand, his left foot, mate.
Sticking on Forrest, I don't want to kind of overdo it too much here and tell me if I am, but a few people might have wanted to see Dembele getting game time. And I know that McGinty on the last episode, when it was you, McGinty and Dale, McGinty is a massive advocate for Dembele, and why not? Because I think McGinty, playing Football Manager, must have won the Champions League with Dembele scoring a hat-trick. I can only surmise that is the case. But I think Dembele in this type of game, sorry McGinty, I'm being truly cheeky, but in this game, I think Dembele, with the physicality, he wouldn't have stood up. And I think horses for courses, that's why Forrest actually did do well. So that's the point I wanted to make.
It might have been all right, mate. But I actually watched him yesterday against the Sevco B team, and he started off. He played most of the game on the left hand side, and see, to me, mate, it didn't really make that much an impact. I mean, he's good in wee bursts. He's got a decent wee burst of pace. They can get forward, but I don't want to actually spend too much time talking about him, because I think I've actually spent far too much time talking about him in general. I think for me, and just my humble opinion, is that I don't like him. I don't like his attitude. I don't like it. He just looks like a greedy wee shit. So, nah, no for me.
Well, I heard he's great in Football Manager anyway, and that's the main thing, mate.
Just going to bounce onto the comments now, mate, before any more come in and we get anybody lost. Here, mate, Woodsy. Hail, boys. Much better performance today. A lot of chances created. And McGinty, who's he's got the old COVID, so get well with it. And John Forrest, really pleased. Worked hard. All the boys gave us energy today. James, outstanding. Scott Howe, fucking yes, my beautiful Sunday. Congratulations to Sean Connery there. Anthony McGinty again. And having, this is obviously McGinty coming in with the comments for Ange. Having strong squad means our level of training can stay high. Brilliant, good to know. Kev 14, happy for Forrest. He's had a tough time, but he definitely has a role for us yet. Alan Woods again. Nice 8-game break now until the Arabs in the Cup. Get legs refreshed and maybe Turnbull back. I was going to say that. I don't think it was 8 games, 8 days. Yep. Who else? Sarah Jane Coffee. Hello there. Hi, Paddy and Gav. And the Tony Macaroni curse has been broken. Yeah, boys.
That's it. It almost puts you in the mood for pasta. And by the way, what a beautiful day it is outside, man. It is fantastic. What was I going to say? From McGinty can't resist. Dembele played in the B squad yesterday, to be fair. Unlikely Ange would have played. Yeah, he was playing in the B squad for a reason, mate. But a minute later, after that goal from Forrest, we concede that old cliche, you're at your most weakest right after you've scored. And it was a long throw right out of the Rory Delap textbook. Long throw from Livingston, deep in our half. They win the first header, and that's when you become vulnerable, whenever they win that first header. And then you're scrambling to win that knockdown. And it was them who won the knockdown. I think McGinty in the WhatsApp chat, he was saying that Ralston was at fault. I'm not too sure. I could watch it back and maybe I could agree, but from my first reaction, I didn't think it was. I think we were just unlucky. If you're going to stop goals like that, you need to win the first header. They won the first header, and they converted from close range from a wee scramble. What did you think of that, mate? Was there any scapegoat?
That was a poor goal, mate. If I'm going to scapegoat anybody, it would probably be
Dembele. Aye.
Dembele. Aye, fuck Dembele. It would probably be Ralston, mate, because by the time that the ball comes in centrally, he's trying to fend off a defender, but he's trying to shield the defender more than he is trying to clear the ball. So if anything, mate, he could have tried to clear the ball, mate, but he never kept. He just stood like a big coat hanger, you know what I mean? Just. But Joe Hart, I know, as I say, if I'm going to try and be negative toward anybody or put the blame on anybody, Joe Hart again kind of stood too static for me. He could have come out and tried to kind of smother it, but hey ho, it was a shitty goal to concede. Any other day you'd be cussing it, but today, well, no, because we're going to be nice and positive today, Gavin. It's a win, and it's a 3-1 win, and we're back at the top of the league again with 3 points. So,
intelligent substitutions on the 75th minute.
Yes,
and all on,
yes.
I don't think that we needed to have made them earlier on. I thought Ange managed the game very, very well, and it was Maida, Forrest, and Roderick who came off. Giakoumakis, Abada, and O'Reilly came on. And then later on in the 82nd minute, McGregor came off and Hatate came on. I want to say that Roderick, I've not been impressed with Roderick in the past few games. I think after he came back from international break, I know that he got 2 goals in a Motherwell game away from home. Overall, I thought they hadn't got his rhythm back. But today, Roderick really put himself about and he looked good. He was back to being great, beating men with his 2 feet, you know, that clever kind of Iniesta type movement that he does for a big man. I thought he really put himself about, and he had to, because we needed him to bring that physicality today. So I want to give a wee shout out to Roderick. I thought he was very, very good.
What I will say, Gav, you said that you thought that the substitutions when they came on was the right time and nobody had to come on earlier. I actually disagree with you about one player, and that's Rogic. For me, mate, I noticed him running about the 50... I think it might have been the 52nd, 53rd minute mark. And to me, it looked as if he was blowing out his arse. He really did look tired and cumbersome. You know, he was kind of trudging rather than galloping, as you usually see. So I just thought that O'Reilly, I would have got him on quicker. But again, like, at least they brought the 3 subs on when it was probably like the latest kind of stage that they could have done it. You know what I mean? In terms of getting the most out of the guys, kind of training them at the batteries, if you want to call it something like that. But no, it was 3 good subs. You know, he got Giakoumakis on. Again, a different kind of goal threat than O'Reilly, who is O'Reilly's basically just a like-for-like replacement for Rogic, isn't he?
I hear that. I'm not disagreeing, but neither am I agreeing. I don't know if it's a lazy comparison. It could be an accurate comparison. I think I'll know more about O'Reilly come the end of the season. And we've got Strange Love, the doctor, in the house. Great performance, 3 points, 8 games to go. Ange had Livy's number. And by the way, Martindale did not look too pleased at the end of the game. And the players executed the plan perfectly. We won the second balls like the Tigers that we are. Apparently, we are Tigers. And they couldn't handle it. EBT sports scene will be a giggle. EBT sports scene will be a giggle. It will be. And did you notice that Chris Boyd, for a change, wasn't on the the presenters for Sky Sports. I don't know why that was.
Aye, who was it? It was Ailey Barber presenting, and I think it was
Petrov, McFadden, and somebody else.
James McPeak it was.
Yeah.
Aye. Fuck Chris Boyd.
100%.
As you well know, my opinions on him, mate.
Aye, if you want a good Sunday, then you don't want to see Chris Boyd on your TV. Curiosity, when is the Man U and Man City game starting? Is that 3 o'clock? Or 4 o'clock?
I couldn't give a flying fuck, Gav.
That's the right.
With the greatest respect, mate, I couldn't care less. I've just watched Celtic go top of the league. Nobody else for me.
I want to talk about Jota. I thought Jota tried a lot more today.
Mm-hmm.
Some things came off from, some things didn't, but his effort was there. One thing I did notice, especially in the first half, you know how Jota, obviously, he plays on the left wing and he does the trick where he cuts in inside on the right. I thought that Livy were well prepared for that in the first half. And sometimes they doubled up on him and sometimes they tripled up on him because they were expecting that. And at that point, Jota had to kind of offload it to somebody else. I thought in the second half, he had a wee bit more success. But regardless, I thought that they set up very well for Jota. But I'm happy with the effort that he put in. And that kind of bodes well for the run-in for the season because it did look a bit cumbersome in previous games.
Aye, I thought that myself, mate. You know, the last 3 or 4 games, he's not really been himself. If you want to kind of saying, but today he definitely looked as if he had his mojo back, mate. It was really, really good. He was positive every time he got the ball. You know, he looked as if he wanted to go by a man and go and create something. Again, you look at the pitch, Gav. It's a shitey wee pitch. It's a plastic pitch. You saw it maybe 3 or 4 times today. You know, guys were kind of rolling over their ankles. You know, getting themselves kind of potentially sore ones because of that horrific surface. But it was good to see a guy like Jota who is clearly a confidence player. He needs to be confident in himself and his own abilities, which I don't think he never is. But the same as the rest of us, mate, we can all have our wee downturns. But no, he looked brilliant today, and he was part of that threesome up front that were very dangerous and very deadly for Celtic against Livingston. Brilliant.
Greg Taylor as well, he put in a shift, and there was one point near the end, almost at the 90th minute mark, where he's like running up the left channel, and it was like a poor ball from one of the substitutes, might have been Hatate, and Taylor just managed to keep it in, but he had to knock out for a throw-in, and he was like shouting at himself. He was furious, and you saw how much it means to him, and that kind of harkens back to, I think we've read about it, that Callum McGregor kind of taking him under his wing, and a lot of people might not like this, but people were talking about, or the noise was coming from Parkhead, that he's another of the kind of mentality for captain material. I don't think I phrased that correctly, but he's of the same ilk mentality-wise to be a captain candidate, and he really is. He might not be the player that we all like. He might not be quality-wise what we want as a left-back. We might want to upgrade, and that might well be the case, but he's really trying. What would you disagree with that? Am I giving him too much credit? I'm not saying he's a great player. I'm saying he's got a great mentality. I like that. You need to be more than the sum of your parts. If you've got limited ability, be more than the sum of your parts. And I think that's what he's doing.
Aye, listen, you don't need to have the best of ability to be one of the best for others. You just look at guys like Paul Hartley, who we were talking about earlier on. You look at him when he came in with Barry Robson, 2 technically limited players, but they had the heart of the Lions, and they were so integral to us as a team with their performances and their passion. Do you know what I mean? So you do not need to be the greatest player to be one of your best players. For me, I get what you're saying about Taylor, right? And I don't want to go and knock anybody today. Had a great day, had a great victory. For me, it's just he had a decent game. I don't think I can't really have a dig at him for anything. But kind of Greg Taylor and decent is probably the most positive thing that I can say about Greg Taylor, which is a shame, like, because I really do want to like the wee guy. You know, he does try, mate. He gets up and down the wing. He doesn't hide. I don't think he hides. But nah, I just think we need to do better. But for the now, if you've got Greg Taylor putting in decent performances, then
that's all we can ask for. Yeah,
it's fine. It's fine. Just bouncing back to the comments again, mate. Where are we? Sorry. Dermot Celtic Rabito, great win by Angela's young team at 9 months and only looking good. Absolutely. There's the boys telling you what time the Man United game's at 4:30.
I don't even know if I'm going to.
I knew, but I couldn't care less. Kev 14, thoughts on Maeda? I've been at work. Sounded like he put in a decent shift. We'll catch him in a wee minute, mate. Another question for I keep calling him Dr. Strangelove. It's not Strangelove the Doctor. You need to talk about the press on second balls. The boys were right on them.
Aye.
Chat we second on, mate.
I think it was in the second half, Paddy. But to kind of go back to that comment, in the second half, Livy got a drop ball in their own half, and we swarmed on them. There was like 5 players, and they were playing like possessed men. They were like, it was like Rogic and like 4 other Celtic players that were in amongst it. And I've not seen that intensity since maybe going back a month and a half ago. It looked fantastic. I was really happy with that. And yeah, the second balls, we were, for the majority of it, we were winning the 50-50s. We're matching them for intensity and enthusiasm and physicality. And that's what we needed. That was the right approach. That was the only way that we would then allow our superior ability to win us the game. We had to match them inch for inch.
Aye, we'll talk about the team chasing down second balls. Kind of like in Paris, I can make is they were like fleas on a dog's back. You know what I mean? They were just constantly pounding on every single Livingston player. Anytime they looked as if they got the ball, there was somebody chasing them. Anytime they were on the ball, there was somebody there trying to break them down. And the good thing about that, Gav, is when somebody was trying to go and press the ball, it wasn't just one person breaking forward and going to chase the player or the ball. There was somebody else always anticipating that person winning the ball. So if it wasn't one person joining up at the back of this guy to try and win the ball when it's coming out of possession, there was another guy that was making movement half a player to get into space in case they got the ball and were able to put them forward. So that was absolutely brilliant. And as you say, there was like a pack mentality. It was like kind of wolves.
Yes.
Somebody says tigers earlier on, but probably rabid wolves, mate. The boys wanted that one today, and by hell, they delivered it.
So where does that leave us now? I've been out with a cold recently, but I've not been looking further ahead. So what's the schedule now? Do we have that break now? Is it an 8-day break?
Yes, 8 days break, and then I'm actually going to get the fixtures up now, but I'm sure it's Dundee United in the cup.
As a podcaster, I should know my stuff for that. I apologise.
Aye, but again, like you don't sit in a pub and know every single fixtures. No, I mean, so that's what we are, guys. We just sit and chill it, sit and shoot shit.
Well, as you're looking that up, I'll just read out the a couple of stats for possession. They had 20 possession to our 72 shots. They had 6 shots. We had 24 shots, and shots on target. They had 3 to our 7. And got a wee message from Sean Smiley. Yeah, Maeda was great. Even at the end, he was still closing down and forces Livy to put it out for a shy. I think that's what you're going to get, even from him and from Giakoumakis. Even if they don't get a goal, they're always going to give you 100%, and that's why they will get games for Celtic.
And there's actually a potentially good point by Kevin. Calmac being in the number 8 position maybe helped coordinate the press better. What do you think about that?
Aye. Yeah, aye. And
thanks for that in-depth answer, mate.
Well, I think Beaton playing at the number 6 role, he gives that physicality. You could argue that I'm not going to go down that, but it definitely allows Calmac to push up, and Calmac is more of a technical player, and breaking down that press is where technical players come to the fore. So, aye, good point for Kevin, mate.
So got the fixtures here, mate. So Monday the 14th. So we've got an 8-game break up till we play Dundee United. So we are at Tannadice on a Monday at 7:45, and that's the Scottish Cup. The Scottish Cup.
What date?
The 14th, excuse me, 14th of March.
14th of March. 14th of March.
And then, so that's Monday. We then play at home to Ross County, which is a 3 p.m. kickoff. And that is us until the Sunday, 3rd of April, when we go to the Bigot Dome.
The Bigot Dome. Aye, yeah, it is. So it's going to go back to like one game every week for us anyway. No.
So that game at the 3rd of April away at the Bigot Dome, and then we've got St Johnstone at home on the 9th of April, and then after that's obviously going to be the split.
Well, I think the break is roughly came at the right time for us. It gives Ange, the time to go back onto the training field and work with the guys. I really want to see Kyogo come back to full fitness. I don't know how long that'll be. Kevin there saying, I like Katate, but he needs time in the training ground as he wonders. He had that blistering start, of course, against Hearts and against Rangers, but yeah, time on the training ground with Ange. I think that's going to be the perfect anecdote or perfect antidote to get people back together and playing as a team.
Kev 14 as well. Let's cut that out again. Our problem recently has been in the 2 number 8s. It affects the whole unit. Yeah. Woodsy again. Love Calmack, just get him off the penalties. Aye. Dermot Rabito. A week between games, and we'll have them primed to go. I'll just read this one before I say it. Aye, I would kind of agree with this, I know. Ancient Dawn, new comment, I'll be looks at. Get yourself a wee subscription, mate, and a wee like on the YouTube page. Saw a few fans slaughter the team selection on Twitter this morning. I think people just need to calm down and trust the squad. I agree with that.
Sorry for hijacking it. I'm being a dick, but
on you go, mate.
When I saw the lineup, I'm like, yeah, I'm strange. I found that a wee bit strange, but I didn't worry. I just said, in Ange we trust. He wouldn't have made those changes, such as the Forrest. The Forrest one was the most kind of baffling one, but no negativity from myself anyway. Yeah, so
I think the point with some people are obviously fucking torn-faced bastards and that, as we know. But I think sometimes there's been a lot of rotation in terms of the squad. And then today, I think basically most people that were maybe having a go was the fact that Forrest was playing, and Forrest hasn't really been that good, and that Giakoumakis wasn't playing, when we all know that Livingston are a kind of defensive unit. So I think everybody was hoping and praying that the big guy was going to be playing. But at the same time, as at that stage of the season, the arses are starting to flap now, because it's getting close at the end of the season. That other mob is right up our arse again now. We had to go and win. So you can understand why people were maybe a wee bit negative today, but that's the way it is. You get your mumps and your moans out before the game, and hopefully, if you're wrong, then you get a bit of egg in the face, you know what I mean? So, whatever it is. Kev 14, plenty time to train now. I think we're going to catch fire. There's Red Scotland joining us as well, mate. How you doing, brother? Strange love the doctor. That was a symbolic win. The zombies saw it and have crawled back into their graves. Fill them
in. So we're 3 points ahead, and we're 11 goals superior to Rangers. Do you think that the goal difference could play a point? And another question to you, do you think the 2 remaining Celtic and Rangers games will cancel each other out, or do you think we can still go to either?
If I'm maybe putting my thinking cap on, Gav, I would probably say that we would be delighted if we come back to Ibrox with a draw. I just think with the pressure of having an almost entirely full stadium, but that it's going to give that extra edge. So I would probably put us losing points on that. I don't ever want to fucking say that again, but try to think straight here. Probably say that they would either get a draw or a win at Ibrox. But then when you come back to Celtic Park, the good thing is that we've already faced them at Celtic Park recently, and we've already beat them, mate, and we've proven that we can beat them. You know, full crowd of Celtic fans back at Parkhead. We hadn't beat them for a long, long time, and we've done it now, so we can do it again. And the good thing is as well, that game at Parkhead's going to be towards the end of the season. It's no the fact that we're going to have to play at Parkhead and then go to Ibrox. It's the other way around. It's almost like kind of having your away fans in the first your away game, and your first European legs, you know what I mean, and then being back at home, which is it's an on-paper advantage, you know what I mean? So,
aye, well, I think the way that Ange has settled into life at Celtic Park, he's achieved a lot. We're talking about that away win at Pataudry, the first away win since Valentine's Day, and of course the victory against Rangers, where we'd went how many years? Two years since we'd done that. So Ange is achieving a lot, which his predecessor hadn't achieved. And I think going away to Ibrox with the mentality that Ange preaches to his team, can't write out that we could actually come away with the 3 points. Obviously, that's a possibility. But the way that Ange that preaches and imbues that mentality of achieving things, even against adversity, I think it's quite a likely scenario that we can come away with that and actually feel confident. Don't feel afraid like we did under the tenure of Neil Lennon, especially in his last season. I think things are looking positive for us. It's going to be for us fans, but it might actually be more comfortable than nervous than we actually anticipate for the run-in, mate.
It is, mate, and as it stands now, you know what I mean, it is a title fight because there's only 3 points in it. But the good thing is that we're obviously the ones that's got the nose ahead now. So really, everything is down to us. Now we hand it, you know what I mean. So we could still obviously go to Ibrox, we could get a win, but then we could go get pumped. That's how tight it is. So hopefully we don't need the goal difference to come in it, you know what I mean. But it's obviously it's another weapon that we've got in case we need to use it. But as I say, they need to win. They're going to need to win all their games and all, and so are we. So it's a fight now. Let's just fucking see who's going to come at it. But just jump back into the comments again, mate. Strachan's laptop, another new poster again. So he's a wee link and a wee.
That name. You need to subscribe because I really like that name.
By the way, it's actually you're going to make you change your name to Strachan's tablet because I think he's changed to a tablet now rather than a laptop. I seen him. You actually seen him today on it when the 3 subs were coming on. He had a wee tablet thing. It was lovely. So Strachan's laptop, the goal difference may come into it for sure. It's like an extra point. Yep. Joe Curran, I'd love to see Kyle go in to rip the piss out of Paddy's pals from that dome. Certainly not my pals, Joe, as you know. See who else. Rabito, we will carve them up twice. We are improving each game. I like that optimism, but I don't want to kind of get too ahead of ourselves. We need to take every single game like a cup final now. And as we all know how a cup final can go, you either win it or you don't. So we can't just assume that we're going to win every game. I would love to. Let's see. Red Scotland. I will gladly take 4 points from the remaining 2 derbies. 2 points even. Aye.
As long as they're not gaining, then that's fine.
I don't care if we get beat one as long as we win the league. You know what I mean? But again, you're not going to find out until you win the league. So, Sarah Jane, how you doing, pal? Yes, the best Celtic reaction podcast out there. Never ever change, Paddy. Hail from the Blackpool boys. Cheers.
Aye. So we'll be doing the Tuesday roundup then. And that will kind of hopefully bridge a bit of the gap between now and Monday the 14th whenever we play Dundee United. So we'll try and come up with some fresh content. I don't know if it will just be a run-of-the-mill talking about whatever, the latest news coming from Parkhead, or we'll try and come up with something more original. We'll get
that's actually a good point, mate. What the fuck are we going to talk about Tuesday?
Yeah. We've got.
So we'll try and use it as an opportunity to try and liven things up. We'll try and do something a wee bit fun, and if we can maybe get a wee guest or two on, we'll try and get it done.
It's a bit late.
No, mate, we'll get him somewhere. Just a few more comments bounced up as well. Kevin 14, 3 points from the 2 derbies will get us home. Now remember though, it's not just about the derbies. We need to win the other games as well. Red Scotland, that's a good point, Gav. Alan Woods, goal difference matters massively. If you remember seasons 2002, 2003 and Dark Sunday, we are basically 4 points ahead at the moment, so keep the goals coming. Aye, absolutely, because, you know, yesterday proved it. We were level in points, but we were still top of the league. Kevin Mullen, how you doing, buddy? Celtic, that's the team for me. Keep up the good work, guys. Love the podcast. Hail. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Red Scotland, I might get me a Barbie come May.
Mate. That's an idea.
That's what we should do, mate. We should do a podcast barbecue. Nah, we're never going to do that, are we? Stones love. Replicate the tactics from today there. I'm assuming that's Ibrox. Then I don't see why we can't. Kevin, big up for Ralston getting the nod today. Ange likes him.
Never been in doubt.
Yep.
Maybe do you think it was a horses for courses one that Ralston started over Juranovic, or was Juranovic maybe a wee bit tired from the
I don't know, Gav. I never heard anything previous to the match starting, so I was assuming that maybe Juranovic had maybe a wee tweak or whatever. I don't know, mate. But I would when I seen Ralston, I actually seen Ralston's name before I seen him as at left back, so I was just assuming that Juranovic was at left back, and then I seen Juranovic on the bench, and it was like Greg Taylor, and I was like, oh, okay. But there's a wee suggestion for you, would it? Paddy, do the Celtic's hardest players on Tuesday or something like that. I think, was it yourself that suggested that before, would it?
I think
there was actually a couple of guys that said that one of our Tuesdays. So maybe that's a wee thing to shout for, Gav. Dermot, again, you are no agendas, just call it as it is. Love it, boys. Thank you very much. That's what we try to do. And last one for Red Scotland. I have a great collection of alternative scud books we could discuss the merits of on Tuesday. Should you be struggling for topics? Well, Red, it's actually a really good topic, but I'm going to have to proofread them before we go live. So I'll give you my address and you can send them on to me, just so I can have a wee look. If I can get if obviously I can get the pages unstuck, you know what I mean? So
Aye. Look, to the viewers, thank you so much for giving us your comments today, and I hope you enjoyed the game as much as what we did. Of course you fucking did. But what Red Scotland, Asian Blues, my personal favourites. Yeah, Asian chicks with dicks, maybe, I don't know. I'm just joking.
And there's Gav's gone right to his go-to fucking bookmark on his Google search.
That's it, mate. That's it.
Right.
Aye. Right, so we'll round up for today, and we'll meet back for the Tuesday one then, Paddy.
Aye, I don't really want to talk about Celtic's hardest players now after you're talking about chicks with dicks. But aye, that might be something. That might be something that we can pull out the bag, I think. What do you think, mate?
Aye, we'll see.
Right, but just the last couple of comments popping up. Sean Smiley, have a good one, boys. You too, mate. Hope you have a great weekend. Hope you're enjoying the result and Celtic being back on top again. What's this? Red Scotland. I hope the missus isn't watching this or I'm chucked. Sarah Jane, Paddy and Gav, first class as always, lads. It's like being in a Glasgow boozer, listening to you both. Thanks for making us feel like we're at home. No worries, pal. Hope you enjoyed every minute of it, much as we did.
Aye. So again, thanks very much for tuning in. We'll be back for the Tuesday roundup. Don't know what we're going to talk about. We'll try and keep it fresh and entertaining. And of course, we're depending on you guys for your comments as well. Otherwise, we'll just get bored talking to each other. But aye, Paddy, a good Sunday, mate. A fucking good Sunday. I think I'm going to go out and enjoy the weather. I don't think I'm going to watch that Man U derby.
Nah, fuck that shit, mate. I'm just going to probably jump on YouTube for a wee bit, watch Celtic's greatest goals against the Sevco, and crack open a wee beer or two, I think, maybe, and just do a wee bit of celebrating. Maybe watch the game again and looking for Angie's comments. So, aye, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Looking forward to... No, I'm not looking forward to tomorrow. It's Monday, not. Aye, okay. Aye, okay. Let's just enjoy the day. Yeah.
That's it. Enjoy the moment. Right, guys. Look out for Paddy Does Us come November. Aye. I'll ask you this. What would you what would you most like to do? I know that Celtic are going to Australia, but see if Celtic had also planned a trip to Japan.
Mm-hmm.
What as a fan, as a travelling fan, what one would you rather go to Australia to see Celtic do a few friendlies, or to Japan to do a few friendlies? What would you relish more?
Oh, that's a good question.
Just came to me.
It's got to be Australia, surely.
Because of the Rangers element?
No, actually, no, Japan. Japan's got better beers. Aye. There's better beers in Japan.
But how much is a beer? That is the question.
Well, I don't know. I'm sure we could go into a Japanese Celtic supporters club and get them for nothing. I'm only kidding on, though. We're not that much celebrities, but I don't know, mate. Nah, Australia. I'll go for Australia. Better weather. I dare say the bikinis would look better in Australia.
Yeah, well, we do enjoy the Australian weather. Aye,
yes,
and
of course, a barbecue. I'd actually prefer to fight with a kangaroo than Godzilla. So Australia.
Don't underestimate kangaroos. Fucking, you could fucking disembowel you, man.
What's that, mate?
They could disembowel you. You ever seen that clip on YouTube with the guy who punches a kangaroo in the face?
The big kangaroo just stands there, goes like that, a big six pack.
He took out the kangaroo.
Is that the man with the kangaroo that's got a dog in the headlock?
Aye. And you hit the spiders and the snakes are bad, man. The fucking kangaroos they're built like brick shit houses, man. Terrify me. Godzilla every day of the week, man. Aye.
There's Kev Mullen. Beautiful Sunday. Celtic win and Nando's in the new Batman movie. Sounds like a plan, mate.
I've heard the new Batman movie isn't as good as what I'd hoped it was going to be. I've not seen it yet. I've just heard that some people said it's a wee bit meh, which I'm gutted about.
I've heard that and all, mate, but mostly that was for people that went to the late show when they opened the night. They went at like 12 o'clock at night and it was on for fucking 3 hours. So, of course, they're going to be a bit bored, you know what I mean? Tired. But, that's us on to talk about Batman now, so I think it's time to hang up.
Right, from the Jungle Gyms. Good afternoon. God bless.
3 points to the bag, trips. 3 points to the bag.